Workshop, we need to go over a couple of expectations before we can start the lesson. So when you come down to the carpet for Reader's Workshop, what are some things that I should see you doing? Layla. So we should already have our stuff ready for reading, our supplies with us in front of us. All of our supplies are with us. AJ? You should be sitting crisscross. So I want you to check and see if you are sitting crisscross, unless you have a dress or a skirt on. How else should you be sitting, Alana?
Hands in your lap.
Hands in your lap. You should not be touching anything. You should not be touching pencils. You should not be touching books. You should not be touching your binder or your book box. Your hands should be in your lap. So I'm going to look around and see if everybody is doing that. Good job, Samara. Good job, Takira. Ashton, great job. Brandon, thank you. When the teacher is teaching and teaching, what should you be doing?
Listening.
Listening. Should we have sat next to our friends?
No.
Making a responsible choice when we are sitting. Okay, throughout the lesson, you are not touching your boxes, you are not touching your supplies, you are listening and staying focused. So today we are going to talk about our exchange books SOP. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure. That means where I can go for help without asking the teacher. So sometimes the teacher is with someone and I don't want to bother her. I can use the SOP to help me figure out what I'm supposed to do. So that's what we're going to do with this. So our focus today is to learn how to exchange books for Reader's Workshops. Exchange means get new ones. How can I get new books in my book box? So the first thing you need to think is, I have a book that I've read several times, or I'm not interested in this book anymore. So here's my book box, and inside my book box are 3 or 4 books. Here are my 3 or 4 books that I'm going to look at. So I am going to model what you should be doing and thinking when you think it's time for you to switch out these books and get new ones, or exchange books. So if I have my 4 books, and I'm going to get them out and look at them, and I'm going to see, is this interesting to me? Have I read it several times? I have had a book that I've read several times, or I'm not interested in this anymore. Maybe I started it and I realized that I don't really like it, or it's too challenging for me, or it's too hard for me, or too easy. So I might say, I'm not interested in this one anymore. So I'm going to put this in the I'm not interested pile. Let me look at this one. Ooh, I really like this one. I've been reading this one. I'm on chapter 6 already, and I'm talking to the teacher about this one. So I'm going to keep this one. So, not interested. I'm going to exchange this. Keeping. Alright? This one. Oh, this is my favorite book. I really like this book, but I've read it several times, because if you look at it, I can read this one pretty fast. So I've read this one probably about 5 or 6 times. So if I've read it a lot and several times, I'm probably going to need to exchange that and get a different one. This one. If we're studying about planets and science, I'm really interested in this one. I haven't gotten started with it, but I think I want to keep it because I'm interested in reading it. Keep. Keep. Exchange. Count how many books you need to exchange.
2.
1, 2. So that tells me that I need 2 new books. I'm going to keep these, and I'm going to return these. During the first 5 minutes of IDR time, I get to go book shopping. IDR time is when you guys are around the classroom with your book and reading quietly. And everybody's quiet and everybody's reading their book and the teacher's walking around talking to some people. That's IDR time. That's when you can go the first 5 minutes to exchange your books. So, yes, it's my day to exchange books. I need to exchange 2 books. Here's what I will do. Watch. Here's the books I want to exchange. I'm going to put them in this basket right here. I'm not going to put them up myself so that I can keep the library organized and neat and let the teacher do that. So I'm going to put my books that I want to return in here. Now I have 5 minutes to pick 2 new books. So I'm going to look around. I know that I really like. I'm not talking to my friends over here and I'm not distracted. I'm looking to see maybe the cover. Do I like the cover? Maybe I'll read the back and see if that's interesting. I'll look through here. I might try to read a page and do the 5-finger rule to see if it's too challenging for me. Alright, so I really like this one. So I like the cover. I read the back. It sounds funny and interesting. So I'm going to keep this one. I need 1 more. So sometimes up top there'll be special books. But I like this one. I like the cover of this one. I'm going to look through. Oh, that's cool. Those pictures are cool. I think I'm going to keep this one and this one. Now, I cannot get more than this because I only turned in 2. So I can only get 2 new ones. I have my new books. It took me that 5 minutes. I didn't come over here and waste time and I wasn't focused. No, I picked my 2 books quickly. Now I'm going to take my new books with me in my box. Now I have my 4 books and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start reading right away like everyone else. And that's how you exchange books in the library. So let's go over the SOP and then it's going to be your turn to practice. So count how many books you need. During the first 5 minutes, you get to go shopping. How many minutes?
5.
5. After you selected a book, return to your reading spot and read. Questions about that? Now let's practice. So everybody has their box with them, and inside your box are books. Take those books out and hold them. So I'm on the carpet. I have my box, and I just took my books out like this. Now they are here. Okay. I am going to make 2 piles. 1, keep. I'm keeping this. I'm still reading this. I still like it. The other pile, I'm not interested in this one. I've read it several times, and I'm ready to exchange it. Keep, exchange. Look at your first book. Everybody get your first book in your hand. Get 1 book in your hand. Good, Damari. Thank you for getting that in your hand. Takira, good. Good, Desmani. Think in your head. Keep, exchange, and place it in your pile. If you're going to keep it, you can put it back in your box. If you are going to exchange it, keep it out in front of you. All right, our next book. Get another one. Keep, exchange. Where am I going to put this one? Keep it. I'm still reading it. I'm interested. Exchange. I've already read it many, many times. I'm ready for a new book. I'm going to exchange. Your next one. Keep, exchange. You're going to keep it. You can put it back in your box. You're going to exchange it. Keep it out. So you're going to complete that process until you have looked at all of your books and decided keep or exchange. Hasina, how many books do you have that you're going to exchange? 3? Desmani, how many books do you have that you're going to exchange? 2. Ashton, how many books do you have that you're going to exchange? 3. Jofred? 1. Oh, look, everybody has a different number. That's okay, because if you're interested in it, still keep it. If you're not interested, we need to exchange it and get a new one. So everybody knows how many books you're going to exchange. Hold up on your fingers how many books you're going to exchange today. I see 1s, I see 2s, I see 3s. Ashton, Brandon, how many books are you going to exchange today? 3. 1, Brandon. You have that one book that we're reading together? Okay. All right, hands down. I'm going to ask the Thursday group, because today is Thursday, Camden, Damari, Desmani, and Georgia. They are going to model for you guys what it should look like and sound like when you're exchanging books. And then at the end, we're going to see how good they did. So, Desmani, stand up. Damari, stand up. Camden and Georgia, stand up. You are going to be our models. In your hand, I would like for you to have the books that you're going to exchange. Everything else can be on the carpet. Good. He has his book. She has her book. Book. Okay. Now, let's listen and watch them and see if they exchange their books correctly. Ready? Go. Let's see. Daria, let's see. Because at the end, we're going to give them a grade. And we're going to grade them and see how well they did. So they put all of them back in here. Now let's listen and see what it sounds like. Pretty good. Now let's see how long it takes them. Let's see if they're focused or if they start playing with each other and talking to each other, or if they keep being focused. AJ, what do you think they're doing well right now? What are they doing good? They're picking out books responsibly. I like that word. Oh, good. Look at them. What are they supposed to do when they finish and they find their books? Who remembers? What do you do when you finish and you find your books? Dario. You go back and sit down and do what? Let's see if they did it. What do they do when they sit back down? Oh, Camden started reading. Once they get their book and they find it, they sit back down and they start reading. Good, Georgia. How many do you have? You're supposed to get how many? 3? Cool. Oh, you're exchanging all your books? All right, pick 2 more. You good? Okay. How long, raise your hand if you can tell me about how long you think that took. How many minutes? Do you think it was 1 minute? Do you think it was 30 minutes? Do you think it was 20 minutes? Samara. 5 minutes? What do you think? 3 minutes? 2 minutes. So, do you see how they did that quickly and quietly? And they found their book, and Mason, when they found their book, what did they do? They sat back down and started reading, and that's how you exchange your books. Today, everyone will get a chance to exchange your books. However, since our library, I really appreciate those of you who are looking at me. Since our library is a little bit smaller, we don't want everybody to go over there at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our reading time. And if I tap you, that means it's your turn to go exchange books. And you're going to practice just like they modeled for us today. If I don't tap you, then you just keep reading.